This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports. Hello and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I am not your host, Matt Doherty, but today is episode 252. I was supposed to be the host, but somebody bumped me. So we'll talk to him in just a moment. But first, let's talk to our players. First, we got returning guest. You know him, you love him. His name is Tim Geving. Hi, Tim. How are you?
What's going on, gentlemen? I'm good. You probably just heard me, I guess about a month and a half ago or whatnot with the WrestleMania thing. So I'm good. Glad to hear. I haven't been on the actual regular pod in quite a while. So happy to be here. Maybe get a dub. We'll see what happens.
Well, you'll be teaming up with our buddy over there, Mason, and I think one of you's got the team name. But Mason, why don't you go ahead and say hi, and then you can figure out who's going to give your team name.
It's going to be Tim. I mean, I never have it. It's a recurring theme here, but I'm doing okay. This week I have stay-at-home dad duty since I still have this week off, but my wife just went back to work thanks to Easter break happening. Even though we had the same amount of time, it gave me an extra week. So yeah, I'm surviving at home by myself with a young child, and it's going. And that kind of led to our inspiration for our team name, which I'll let Tim go ahead and give.
Yeah, so, doing the old daddy duty, I figured, speaking of duty, I figured our name would be Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper. It's going to be our team name.
Okay. All right. And then I'll be teaming up with Mr. Scott over there. I've been fine. Nothing. My life is crazy. So I don't even want to start talking about things going on in my world. So, Scott, how are you? And you got our team name. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to talk about one thing going on with you because it is directly responsible for our team name. But I'm good. I do want to address, Mason very quickly. And everyone out there listening. I just want to say that ever since Mason has become a dad, he's been around a lot more. And I appreciate that. Thank you for not being an absentee father. Mason used to cut in and out of recordings. He would just disappear sometimes. We weren't sure where he was. His screen would go blank. We weren't sure what happened. And ever since fatherhood now, he sticks around. He shows up. And I really appreciate that. So shout out to all fathers out there and Mason for not being an absentee father yet. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I can't forecast the future. I'm just saying so far, so good.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Scott.
Yeah, and just then his internet goes out. Yay.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Oh, is it halftime already? I got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kids crying. So our team name is actually, you know what, Doherty, why don't you?
Yeah, so earlier today I noticed a rash on my torso, so I'm pretty sure that I have shingles. So I was telling that story before we started recording, and then Scott came up with this team name.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be Shingle and Ready to Mingle.
All right, well, we have our teams and we have our team names, but let's throw it over to our host, who is returning for his 78th time. I don't know, he's been on about a third of all Benchwarmer podcasts. Byron Grubman, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thanks. Mason, haven't seen you since having a kid. Congratulations. It's going to be awesome that you're going to be able to watch, young adult sports movies and classic sports movies for the first time with your child and experience them together.
They're still going to hit the same. They're going to hit the same, I promise.
Yeah. Every single one of them.
Baseball season, I guess, has started, even though the Giants, haven't shown up yet. So I'm still in hockey mode. The Rangers sadly won the President's Cup trophy, which means we're going to get bounced in the second round. And then I'll move over to baseball.
There you go. All right, let's kick it over to Dan for the rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
All right, so our first quarter today is going to be David and Goliath.
David versus Goliath. This quarter will consist of 3 pairs of questions, one easier, David, and one harder, Goliath. After hearing both questions, the teams will pick one of the 2 questions to answer, either David or Goliath. Each David question is worth 25 points, and each Goliath question is worth 50 points.
So our theme for David and Goliath is going to be stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
Question 1, David. What is the oldest NFL stadium that still hosts an NFL team? Question 1, Goliath. What is the oldest NCAA FBS stadium that still hosts an NCAA FBS team?
We're going to check in.
Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. You can talk it out.
I'm leaning towards Soldier Field for David.
Because I know that's from the 30s.
It might even be older than that.
Well, because I mean that's my team. Like, so and I shouldn't say that because it's gonna come back and bite me. But yeah, like the Bears are my team. They were the Decatur Staleys for a long time.
Right, and the NFL was founded in like 1920. Yeah, like 1920-ish. So it's gotta be around.
And then they went to Soldier Field, and then they've done absolute awful renovations to it since then.
Right, and that's why they were proposing that new stadium, and people were being outraged because of how old it is.
Right, out in Arlington Heights, and then now they're talking about building a dome in Chicago. Where they're going to fit that, I have no clue. But I also you seem pretty confident on that Georgia Tech.
It's really old. Now, I don't know if it's the oldest.
Like David Luck's old or like just kind of old?
That's a good question. He might have been there for the first game.
Yeah.
Lux is out here catching stray bullets. Sorry about that, Lux. All right.
It's over 100 years old because they hosted the that famous game against Cumberland where they scored over 200 points. I'm pretty sure that was at that field. The question is that the oldest? I'm worried about the Ivy Leagues like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, right? The schools that had football stadiums way back in the day. Are those stadiums still in existence? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't
feel confident enough with that. If it is that, I don't. There's too many others that concern me.
Do you just want to go Soldier Field then?
Yeah, I think we should just play it safe for the first question because I have not much confidence in it. That was kind of an outlier because we were thinking East Coast, and I just remembered that was a thing.
Let's just check in with the David and say Soldier Field.
Yep.
All right. And Shingle and Ready to Mingle. What did you guys come up with?
Okay, so the original Soldier Field was in like the 20s, and Lambeau was built in 1951. But how in the world you could say that what they play in now is the original Soldier Field? I don't know how they could say that's the oldest stadium. That stadium's been around for 25 years. So I don't know how you're going to judge this, Byron, because if you're going to tell us it's Soldier Field, then I'm going to say that's ridiculous. That field is not the same field that they've been playing in since 1922 or whatever. So we checked in with Lambeau Field.
One team is getting points. Per ESPN, Soldier Field is the oldest NFL stadium to continually host an NFL team. I heard where you were going, guys, with the Ivies. Those are FCS schools, so those were not in contention. The Goliath is Kyle Field here in Texas, the home of Texas A&M.
The only reason it has to be is because they've only renovated it. They've never actually torn it down and rebuilt it. They've actually only just renovated it. I know.
That's the same stadium?
The bones itself are the same. What they did was they built on top of it, which makes it look even worse. I mean, it makes it look awful. But yeah, what essentially was they added another tier to the top, and that was it.
Question number 2, David. Which golf course has hosted the most majors? Question number 2, Goliath. Which is the oldest American golf course to host a major?
Byron, we're going to check in.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
Okay, so good on David. That one's...
It's got to be Augusta. Yeah.
It can't be anything else. I have an inkling on the Goliath. I don't even know if it's right, but I remember there was one in New York, hosted the Open in the last 5 or so years, maybe a little bit longer than that. Can't remember the name of it, and I know it's old. I don't know if it's the oldest.
Man, I can't pull it.
And like I said, it might not even be the right course. I just remember when it was hosted there, talking about how old it was.
Let's just use this brain power later in life and just say, let's call it Augusta and check in with David.
Yeah.
All right. And Scott and Matt, what do you guys got?
So we checked in with Augusta also.
Both teams are getting points. Obviously the golf course that's hosted the most majors, they host the Masters every year, is Augusta National, and the oldest course to host a major is the Country Club located in Brookline, Massachusetts, which also is the oldest golf-oriented country club in the United States.
Yeah, I was never getting there.
Nope.
Yeah, never even heard of it.
Question 3, David. Which is the only NBA arena without a corporate sponsor name? Question 3, Goliath. Of the current EPL table, which is the only team to play in a stadium with a corporate sponsor name?
We'll check in.
All right. Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper has checked in. Shingle and ready to mingle. Let's talk it out.
I thought one of the Manchester teams played, or maybe it's Liverpool plays in Emiratis. I don't know. I forget what stadium that is. And I thought the Emiratis was like a Middle Eastern airline or something like that. So I'm not sure. Do you have anything on the David?
If you feel strongly about that, we can take a risk, and we are down.
Okay, you want to do with that?
Yeah, Matt, if you think someone plays there, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. Take the risk.
Yeah, we'll check in with the Emiratis.
Right. And to Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper.
I didn't even really bother with the Goliath. I just started thinking of NBA teams and working my way around. Problem was I started in the Western Conference, so it took a lot longer to get there. But I'm pretty sure the only one that doesn't have a corporate sponsor name is MSG, Madison Square Garden. So that's what we checked in with for the David.
Yeah, so we'll have both teams get points. David is, the Mecca, the greatest arena in the world, the house that Jimmy Dolan's dad built, Madison Square Garden, and the Goliath is Arsenal that plays at Emirates Stadium.
Nice, great pull, man.
Good job, both teams. Now to close out the round, question 4, David. Big enough for Ricky Bobby's personality, which NASCAR track has the largest seating capacity? And Goliath, which Formula One track has hosted the most Grand Prix?
All right, we're going to check in then.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper. Talk it out.
Or please don't.
Got to be Talladega then.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? Talladega Nights.
I mean, it can't be anything else.
For the sake of me sounding stupider than I am already, I really don't even want to think about Formula One.
I'm pushing the button again to see if anything happens.
I couldn't even tell you one. If you said name a Formula One track, I couldn't give it to you.
I think there's one in Monaco, right?
Oh, that's right, Monaco, yeah.
Yeah, there's one in Monaco. That's about all I know.
Right. What's Lamaze? What's that do? Other than that's not what your wife did before she gave birth, right? That's different.
24 hours of Lamaze.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, let's just check in with the David, right? I mean, Talladega.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. We'll check in with David. Talladega.
All right. And Scott and Matt, what do you guys have?
Same thing.
And both teams are getting points. The largest NASCAR track by seating capacity is Talladega Motor Speedway with 175,000 seats. And the Formula One track that has hosted the most Grand Prix, I could have given you the country, but that would have given away because it's the only one. It is the Monza circuit in Italy, 73 Italian Grand Prix. Monaco is second with 68.
Hey, okay.
Hey,
close.
right.
Very close.
So both teams are getting the David points on that one.
Nice. All right, so after the first quarter, we have it all tied up there with our team getting one wrong and then getting the Goliath and Emirates. So both teams have 100 points.
On to quarter 2, which is a missing link.
The missing link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
Question 1 of the missing link. This 4-time WNBA champion has been part of the 10, 15, 20, and 25-year WNBA anniversary teams and between she and her wife have 6 Olympic gold medals.
All right, we're checked in.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
So now I'm confused. I think I just confused myself. It's either Diana Taurasi or Sue Bird. I can't remember who's married. I think it's whoever's married to Megan Rapinoe.
That's Sue. Isn't that Sue Bird, right? I forgot who Tarasi's married to. But if that's the line that you're going with, then it's going to be Sue Bird. But
Okay, so 4-time WNBA champ. So there's got to be only a few teams that have ever won the WNBA championship.
I don't think Taurasi has 4. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Taurasi has 4.
Sue Bird. Sue Bird's in Seattle, right? Am I wrong?
She would have been, her whole career, yeah. So they won 4? Yeah, that seems.
All right, we'll check in with Sue Bird.
All right, Scott and Matt, what do you guys have?
Yeah, we want the same. I mean, Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird would make sense as a duo, so we also checked in Sue Bird.
All right, both teams are getting points. It is Sue Bird. I had to do a quick, little Wikipedia search to make sure. I was like, how many, WNBA championships does Diana Taurasi have? She only has 3, so we're good there. But yeah, no, the Megan Rapinoe add-on was kind of the hint. I think Diana Taurasi married somebody in the Phoenix organization, like a trainer or somebody in the front office staff, something or other, but a non-athlete.
Yeah, they don't give gold medals for
that. Maybe like a ring or a pat on the head or something.
Right.
All right. So the first missing link clue is Sue Bird. Question number 2. This former Golden Bear golfer is currently ranked 9th in the official world golf rankings, has won 6 times on the PGA Tour, and most recently finished tied for 3rd at the Masters alongside fellow Cal alum Colin Morikawa.
We'll check in.
Mason and Tim have checked in. Shingle and Ready to Mingle. Talk it out.
All right, so we have decided that both of us looked at this leaderboard recently, but neither one of us know exactly. I didn't pay attention at all.
I did not retain the info. Yeah.
The only reason that Scheffler, I even knew that he won, is because you guys in the chat talked about it, and I remember seeing the name going up and thinking like, "Oh, was there some news in football that I should have known about that Adam Scheffler is talking something about?" But
Adam Scheffler.
He's anyway. So that's what I thought.
Noted football insider Adam Scheffler.
Wait, no, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I glanced at it, like I saw the Scheffler one, and they show usually the top 3, so I saw it, but I did. It was just in one ear, not the other. I did not retain the info at all.
The one that I did remember seeing was the name Homa. I think it's Homa, and I saw that there was because the second place was a dude from Sweden, and there was a guy in there from Switzerland or something. I don't know these people. I don't know much about golfers these days.
Yeah, so. Modern golf is not my thing. If you think his name is Homa, we can do that. Yeah, that's fun for a missing link.
There you go. Sue Bird and somebody named Homa. Sure.
Yeah, we'll check in with
Homa. In with that.
All right, Mason and Tim, what'd you guys come up with?
Yeah, we just kind of had to go cross elimination because I remember seeing the leaderboard. And
I mean, I knew Aberg was in there. That's the Swede that you're thinking of.
He got second.
Right. And then DeChambeau was in there, like you said, and all that. And then Mason came up with
Max Homa.
Both teams are getting points from Burbank, California, Scott. Max Homa. Yeah, he came in 3rd. And I included this question because my company sponsors him. We're one of the 37 ads that he has across his shirt, if you've seen him tee off. All right, both teams getting points.
He's going to be wearing a train before the end of it. Just all nothing but.
The theme-linked answers are Sue Bird and Max Homa. Question number 3 in the missing link. This American swimmer was the first to win 7 gold medals in a single Olympics, a record that stood until Michael Phelps broke it in 2008.
Okay, we'll check in.
All right, Matt and Scott, you guys can talk it out.
Yeah, so, good point. I don't know if it is a male or female. Wasn't the 72 or 76 Olympics, the dude, what's his name? I keep on thinking it's Springer, but it's not Springer. It's something like that. I think it starts with an S.
Scheffler.
No, not Scheffler.
Adam Scheffler.
Adam Scheffler. You know who I'm talking about, though? The one who had the SI cover where he had all the medals.
Yeah, I can see the cover. I mean, this is Olympics. It's known on this podcast. I don't really follow Olympics, so
yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I've seen the SI cover, but I don't.
What the hell is his
I don't
name?
know the guy's name.
It's not Spinks. Yeah. Spinks
Sphincter.
is the Bacter. Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah,
dang
Sphinx
it,
is the
come
boxer.
on. Oh, man, it's driving me nuts. Spitz. Yes.
Mark Spitz.
Mark Spitz.
Mark Spitz. You got me there from Sphincter, which you didn't even say.
You got me
No
there.
commentary on that. No commentary.
No.
That will not be the
got me
episode
there.
title. I'm not making that graphic. It's not happening.
No, it's just Gary. It's Jerry Maguire with "You Had Me at Sphincter."
All right, yeah, we're gonna check in with Mark Spitz.
All right, 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. What'd you guys come up with?
Yeah, about 45 minutes ago. This name came to me right away. It was a very early episode title involved him. I remember something with that, but yeah, it was Mark Spitz.
Yeah, and both teams are getting their points. It's Mark Spitz. That was a wild ride. I was gonna do the like slippy, slappy, swimmy, swammy, swan.
Spitz. I was way off. Check
the briefcase.
All right, so our theme-linked answers are Sue Bird, Max Homa, and Mark Spitz. Question 4 in the missing link. Known for his big cigars, which coach led the Boston Celtics to their famed 9 NBA titles in the 1950s and 60s?
We're checked in.
All right, Shingle and Ready to Mingle are checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
You're good with checking in with Red Auerbach?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I could have locked in as soon as you said it. I was just trying to think of more of the theme more than anything.
Okay, we'll check in.
All right, Matt and Scott, what'd you guys have?
Yeah, checked in with a name that was very difficult to read when I was a kid and would read basketball books. I was just like, I don't understand this name. Yeah, we checked in with Red Auerbach.
And both teams are getting their points. The answer is Red Auerbach.
Too many vowels at the beginning. Like a word should not start with that many vowels.
Yeah, definitely difficult for the early reader, but it does kind of roll off the tongue a little bit. All right, so our theme-linked answers are Sue Bird, Max Homa, Mark Spitz, and Red Auerbach. Bringing us to question number 5. All right, on to question number 5.
Crap.
It probably wasn't that bad. If you didn't ask me to be more specific, that's not good.
That's not good.
This wrestler holds the dubious WCW record for most consecutive wins, with the quote-unquote official number being 173 in a row from 1997 to 1998 before being brought to an end by Kevin Nash.
We're checked in.
It's Goldberg. So...
All right, Scott, would you like to give your answer?
Yeah, the stupid taser finish at Starrcade ended the streak. Bill Goldberg.
Both teams are getting their points. We could have done a 3-2-1. So, after question 5, our theme-linked answers are Sue Bird, Max Homa, Mark Spitz, Red Auerbach, and Bill Goldberg. I received 2 incorrect theme-linked guesses. So we'll give a couple of minutes to think up another one.
Neither one of us are even close to this one. Let's just wrap it up.
All right. Scott and Matt have tapped. They're giving me the tap signal. Yep. Tim and Mason, what's your guess?
You guys have 3 seconds.
My only thought was like Netflix or HBO specials. Like Homa could be on because Homa's got that Netflix special with the golf, and I could see Auerbach had the HBO special, which he was on the TV show, what have you, for Winning Time and stuff like that. That's the only thing I had.
So it looks like I stumped the team with the missing link. These are all Jewish athletes.
Oh.
Sue Bird got an Israeli passport and Israeli citizenship using her Jewish heritage to play overseas over there. Max Homa is Jewish. Bill Goldberg is famous. That's the most Jewish name you can think of. Red Auerbach Jewish, and Mark Spitz was the biggest Jewish athlete if it wasn't for Sandy Koufax at the time.
I should subscribe to the same magazines David does. That's the only reason I didn't get this.
Right.
Hey, our team name was 2 Live Jew the last time we teamed up. So now that we've got that behind us, we're on to halftime.
is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
So this is a fun one that I came up with. All sports movies, so it's all sports related. I'm going to change one letter in the title of these sports productions, and you have to give me the new title. I'll give you the description. So, for example, if I was asking you for a movie in which Jake LaMotta switched to F1, you would give me Racing Bull instead of Raging Bull. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yep.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, me and Mace can miss these too. No problem. Got it.
Ready to go.
Question number 1 of halftime. This HBO series follows the Showtime Lakers, specifically highlighting all of their transgressions against the Catholic Church.
We'll check in.
All right. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper is checked in. Shingle and ready to mingle. Talk it out.
I don't think it's called Showtime. I thought it was called Winning Time.
So what? So if you think it's winning time, I don't understand what letter we would remove that would make it. It would make that make sense, right? Like winning tile would be like a Scrabble movie, right? About like someone who like wins a Scrabble like tournament.
Don't give them any ideas for the next one.
Winning Tide, I would imagine, would be like the Nick Saban story. So I just don't. What letter are we removing? Oh, sinning time. Then I think that's our best bet. So we're gonna check in with sinning time.
All right. And Mason and Tim, what'd you guys come up with?
Let me tell you how happy I am that I just said the name of this show at the end of the last question.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Yeah. Also, me being Catholic didn't help me with this question.
I can't get out of my own damn way. But go ahead.
Yeah, so right away once I figured out what letter needed to be changed, it was pretty easy. So yeah, we checked in with sinning time as well.
Both teams are getting their points. It is sinning time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. All right, question 2 of halftime. The true story of a Winter Olympic hopeful using a yellow toy truck to injure a rival.
This is easy now.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my favorite halftime.
That's it. You're good. Check it in.
Well, we're checking.
All right. Shingle and ready to mingle. Talk it out.
What is this, man?
True story of a Winter Olympic hopeful.
What's that?
Is that Eddie the Eagle movie?
That would make sense.
Yellow toy truck to injure a rival.
What does that come from?
I don't know.
What? Just you wait.
That sounds like someone who didn't play D1 playpen if they're injuring kids with toy trucks.
A yellow toy truck would be like a Tonka or something to injure a rival?
But if it's Eddie the Eagle, what letter? What is that?
There's other movies out there about Winter Olympic hopefuls, but I was thinking I was just throwing one out there.
Okay, what's another one? Winter Olympic hopeful movies. Go.
Eddie the Eagle.
Is Snow Dogs about is that a true story?
The Cool Runnings.
Okay. Okay. Fool Runnings doesn't make sense. Pool Running, no.
I don't. Podcast where Scott just thinks of things that change one letter.
I don't understand.
The whole podcast, he just gives a list.
I like things like this. All right. So it's all right. Maybe it is Tonka. Sanka, right? That's Cool Runnings.
Sure.
Tonka. All right. We're gonna say that the movie is called Sanka. We're gonna check in with Sanka.
All right. And 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. What do you guys have?
So the first movie I could think of about a Winter Olympic hopeful and injuring a rival. It's the first movie I could think of that worked for this. It's I, Tonya, and a yellow.
Tonka.
So it's I, Tonka. Yes, that's what we checked in with.
One team's getting points. The answer is I, Tonka.
Who needs Chat GPT when you got Byron? I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Hey, no. I'm not coming for Josh's corner. Not at all.
It will come for you. It's okay. I enjoy these a lot more. No offense to Josh. Great craft.
I was going to say, what kind of halftime is this that Mason is just slamming down the check-in?
This is easy,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
All right. Halftime question number 3. The mostly true story of an Odessa, Texas high school's tradition of wearing day-specific pantaloons in the 1980s.
Okay. We can check in.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
Okay, so I just changed one letter of Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Tights.
Yeah, that's it. That's gotta be it.
I'm guessing that's what it.
Day specific.
I'm not a huge fan, or I don't own a lot of pantaloons. I don't even know what they are, but they sound like pants.
Those are just pants.
Yeah,
pants. It's just a fancy word for pants.
They're pants with a duck in them. It sounds like a Canadian duck. So
pants with a Canadian duck.
The pants that cost $2 in Canada.
right, because it's plural. Yeah, let's do that. Friday Night Tights.
All right, and Scott and Matt, what did you guys come up with?
Yeah, luckily this one made sense right away. It's Friday Night Tights.
And both teams are getting their points with Friday Night Tights.
All right, well, I forgot to give a score update after the second quarter. So after the second quarter, we were knotted up at 200 points. However, after halftime, we now have a leader. So we have Shingle and Ready to Mingle with 250 points and 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper at 275.
The third quarter is going to be Let It Ride, Throw in the Towel, Uniform and Logo Edition.
Let it ride or throw in the towel. For this quarter, there will be 4 questions in a given category that increase in difficulty. After each question, teams can decide to let it ride and attempt the next question, or throw in the towel and take the points they have accumulated to that point. Each question is worth 50 points. If a team answers incorrectly, they will lose half of their points accumulated in the quarter.
Question 1 in Let It Ride, Throw in the Towel. Which manufacturer currently holds the exclusive rights to make NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball uniforms?
We can check in, Byron.
All right, Shingle and Ready to Mingle is checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
Okay, so this is a huge thing because MLB has been coming out like they're pretty much just wearing speaking of dirty diapers, like that's essentially what they are wearing. Like everybody's saying how crappy the uniforms are. They're sweating through them. It's just not good. But you think it's what?
Isn't Fanatics the one that's been getting all the heat from Major League Baseball? That's the company.
Yeah, because I think it used to be New Era, right? I think that's who used to make the hats and all that for ML. Fanatics doesn't sound right for NFL though.
Right, that's what I was wondering. Is it just, are we overthinking this and this is just like Nike or something?
I just think don't say that. Don't say that because I was thinking the same thing.
Because I thought that's who made the other ones, but MLB.
What's really throwing me off? It's throwing me off because I don't understand how the MLB uniforms are so crappy, but yet they didn't have an issue with the NFL or the NBA who are going on right now. I guess is my.
That's because. That's why I said Fanatics, because that's the company that's getting the heat right now for Major League Baseball. But maybe it's Nike and them together, and I don't know. I hate to overthink the first question of a Let It Ride here, but that's kind of where I'm at. It's got to be easier than what we're thinking it is. I mean, it's just Nike. So if we missed the first question, oh well. And just it was fun while it lasted. And
sure, sounds good. Let's do Nike. Yeah, you want to check in with Nike?
Yeah, I'll check in with Nike.
And Scott and Matt, what did you guys have?
I had this for the same reason because of all the flack that they're getting about the terrible MLB jerseys. We checked in with Fanatics.
One team is getting points. Nike holds the rights to make all 3 leagues' jerseys. They have the big swooshes on the right breast of all the jerseys in the MLB, the NBA, and the NFL. Nike makes all the uniforms. I think Adidas makes hockey uniforms.
So I gotta know what Fanatics is because Fanatics is in there somewhere for sure.
Yes, Fanatics distributes. So Nike designs and sends all the materials. Fanatics is in charge of putting together and shipping. That's where the debacle has been, where the City Connect jerseys haven't arrived at certain.
They were sweating through them,
No.
and I mean,
No,
the
Nike's
lettering
getting-
was one thing.
No,
Nike's getting heat
we're gonna.
Fanatics is a manufacturer.
Fanatics
though.
has been in the news for the last 2 months talking
Right.
about how they're making MLB
That's why I
jerseys and how
was-
they're so
yeah.
crap.
When you
We
look
can't
at
get bounced in the first question because we got this wrong. This is clearly Fanatics. So
I just pulled it up.
The
and it
only
says
reason
Fanatics
it's
is
not
a
clearly
manufacturer.
Fanatics. The only reason it's not clearly Fanatics is because they don't have anything to do with the NFL.
Well, yeah, I
That's
mean,
not true. According to
sure.
their page, it says they're the American manufacturer for MLB, MLS, NBA, NCAA, NFL, NHL, NASCAR, Formula One, and WWE.
Yeah, for like fan gear, but for the official uniforms, Nike is the designer, provider, supplier of all the uniforms.
Moral of the story is we need to be mad at Taco for letting that go through.
We are, and David.
Hold on a second. I'm asking for a ruling. Somebody to jump on and give a ruling here. So
You're trying to bring someone in.
Let me
Oh,
guess,
I
it's
see who
David.
it is. So yeah, David. Who his idea of uniforms is like the old school MLB. You know,
Yeah.
I just
gonna
figured that was
go
the
with
easiest one
helmets.
because they were ubiquitous among the
Yeah.
3 of the 4 big.
David's going to come in and say tweed. Made of
yeah,
tweed.
exactly. Big Tweed. You know, the Big Tweed company.
Made of hay. It's made of
Yeah.
hay.
Yeah.
So many other hay.
Potato sacks.
Our rules expert from
Yeah, rules
Secaucus, New
expert.
Jersey. Come in.
Our missing link was Jews. We're calling you in.
We're calling in famous Jewish athlete David Lux.
Yeah, from Brown.
David, here's what happened. Byron started off the third quarter with a let it ride, throw in the towel quarter. The first question was, go ahead, Byron.
So the first question was, which manufacturer currently holds the exclusive rights to make NBA, NFL, and MLB uniforms?
Given that there's all this controversy right now on MLB with the Fanatics making the jerseys for the MLB, Scott and I checked in with Fanatics. Then Tim and Mason talked about it, and they said, well, wait, no, it can't be that difficult. It's got to be something like Nike. So Nike is the answer, but when we looked it up, Fanatics
Fanatics is a subcontractor,
It's listed as the
and
manufacturer.
they've gotten a lot of flack and publicity.
So do we
Dude,
replace
this is-
do we replace the question, or do we just give both teams points,
Or do
and
we
move
just
on?
give Nike points?
or
Well,
just give
Byron-
Nike points and move
Byron,
on?
are the other questions related to that one?
It's all uniform and logo based
Okay.
within. And I can find another easy.
If it-
This is question number
no,
1. I can find another easy
You know
one.
what? Honestly, if it were me, I would just say like that. I would just jump on. If it were me, Byron should just say, "I did some research on the side, and I'm going to accept both answers and just move
Yeah, that's
on."
fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I edit this quarter
Yeah, we
anyway,
can
so,
leave
you know.
Fanatics as
Well,
the
now that David's on the
subcontractor.
episode, he'll edit the entire episode. So there you
No,
go.
that's not.
Also, David is super Jewish. While we have you here,
You know what? I think she is actually.
Okay, then all right, then the theme,
And we're good.
is valid.
I do my research. Come on.
Pretty sure Sue Bird is Jewish, actually. Yeah.
Okay, then the rest of it's fine then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but-
know who to claim.
But the problem is she married outside the faith. It's a whole big thing.
You know what? Let's not go there because I'm
Oh,
half, and
wait.
so it's a whole thing.
Wait a
so-
minute.
wait. Now we got to read the
Anyway,
whole missing
Tim,
link round
Tim,
two.
Byron, it's good to see you both.
Good to see you, Dave.
I guess. All right. Am I
Thanks,
good?
David.
Yes.
Mike's
Yes.
good? All right. Cool.
Thanks,
bye.
David.
After deliberation with the council, we will give both teams points. Nike is the supplier. Fanatics is the subcontractor for MLB. They've been getting a lot of publicity. It's understandable how those two got crossed. So we will be giving both teams points. All right. Now, both teams, do we want to let it ride or throw in the towel?
I don't know,
I'm
man.
scared
I'm thinking
now.
we might throw in the towel now. This is quite the debate. No, we gotta let it ride.
Yep, we're gonna let it ride.
Go.
And Tim and Mason?
Yeah, we're even.
Very good. Question 2 of Let It Ride, Throw in the Towel. What is the term for the ultrafine fabric type that is commonly associated with the attire worn by jockeys during horse races?
Matt, you're
Yeah, we can check in.
Scott and Matt have checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. You guys can talk it out.
Okay, so it's just silk.
I have
Like,
no
is that-
idea.
Like, is that
It's got to be
it's
that or
ultra
velour,
fine.
like burgundy.
That shit like velour
Velour,
tracksuit.
nice.
Yeah, that's what you're right.
Velour. I love
That
it.
seems like
Juicy
it's
couture velour tracksuits.
That seems like it's
Right.
catching a lot of wind. There's a
That
lot
is
of wind
awesome.
being caught by those.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. It looks very silky.
It's got to be.
Sure. I mean, I don't have anything better.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like. It looks like silk. So I guess I don't know how specific we need to be, but
Sure, let's do silk.
Okay.
Looks like it was silk.
All right. Matt and Scott, what'd you guys get?
Yeah, there aren't there when they talk about the color that they're wearing, when such and such is coming around and is blue and red polka dot silks. So we said silk.
Both teams are getting points. They are jockey silks. So do we
We're gonna
want to...
we're gonna let it ride there, Scott.
Yeah.
One more.
Can we get a score update?
It is 375 to 350, you guys.
So
we should probably go one more.
yeah,
We should
I
just
mean, if
keep
they're gonna
going.
go, we gotta go. Yeah,
And then we'll figure out based on how hard this third one is whether we want to chance it.
I'm not from the school of Ede where we just go like full bore,
Agreed.
run through the wall. Got
I
it.
only do it when I'm playing with him just because he does it. So
You don't have a choice, right?
exactly right.
He
You're
makes
dragged
you.
along.
Go ahead,
All right.
Byron. We both are.
Everybody's letting it ride?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Question 3 and let it ride, throw in the towel. What is the tropical sounding official name of the shade of orange used by McLaren's Formula One team livery?
We can check in.
Shingle and Ready to Mingle have checked in. Mason and Tim.
I really don't think it's cutie.
So we're just gonna name every orange tropical fruit we can
Yeah,
think of.
I guess. Like you said, I came up with tangerine.
We have mango, papaya, grapefruit.
Grapefruit's kind of
Peach.
pinkish.
Peach is not really tropical, but
I don't know.
I don't even know what this color looks like. So to put it even close to a color,
I know
the
it
answer is
doesn't.
just orange. It's just orange.
Oraje. Tropical.
Orange.
Is there a tropical island that is named like?
Where's McLaren located? Is that a British company?
I'm going off more tropical than anything.
They're-
I'm going
Well,
off.
I'm just trying to.
They're wearing
I'm trying to
velour
lock it.
suits. We know that. So
Orange.
Yeah,
Mhm,
right.
orange
Neon
ones, but
orange.
not named orange.
Oh, man,
Uh,
we
I've
should have
gotten-
stopped. We should have stopped. As we regret life decisions here.
90
because
seconds.
It's just picking a fruit. Papaya and mango are the most tropical out of the list we have.
Yeah.
Like if we're thinking about that,
And
So-
mango starts with M, so it'd be like
McLaren
McLaren.
McLaren mango, right?
Yeah, that rolls off the tongue.
I don't know. You pick which one. If you want to go mango for the alliteration, I'm okay with that because it sounds McLaren mango. So I guess we just go mango. Is that our?
I'm trying to figure out what the one that's not going to make me the maddest if I guess it. At
Would it
this
be?
point
Would
in
you
time.
be? Yeah. Which one would you be angry at if it's mango or papaya?
I actually thought tangerine, but let's go mango.
Okay. Hopefully we
Mango.
don't need to be more specific. We're just gonna go mango. And if you
All right.
need more, I don't know what we're gonna give you.
No, you're good. Scott
Thanks.
and Matt, what'd you guys have?
We tossed around Tropicana before you said fruit, and then citrus. We were doing things, and I wrote in papaya. So as soon as you said gave us a clue of fruit, we checked in with papaya.
One team is getting points. They are the Papaya Racers. McLaren races under Papaya Orange.
Remember what I
I
said
told
about
you we'd
Mason
lose the
not
coin.
leaving and sticking
Supposed
around?
to we lose
That
the
might-
coin flip either way. We lost that by then.
Mhm.
There it is.
I find new ways to lose this goddamn podcast every time.
You guys only said it like 37 times during
Yeah,
the
right.
deliberation.
Well, I mean, I like his logic better. It was alliterative. It made sense.
Does make
I'm
sense.
sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but I kind of did.
Oh,
At the
That's
No,
same
fine.
I-
time-
Byron did it
Byron's
like
on his
12
game.
times
There's a lot
already.
of whistling.
Byron's
I'm on
already
the
cussed like
podcast,
6
so-
times.
Yeah, I'm on the podcast, so they're going to be whistling quite a bit with me here, so it's fine. Scott and Matt, do we want to let it ride or throw in the towel?
Hell no.
I'm done.
Chicken.
Yeah, we're
Come
done.
Come on, boys.
Come on, go for it. Show us how good you are.
All right.
Yeah, right.
You'd still be
What
up. You would
with?
still be winning. Just do it. Show us how smart you are.
No
All
way.
right, so if we got it, we would have 450. If we lost it, we would have
400, right?
no,
Or
we would have
375.
375. So
You'd
we
still
would
be winning.
We'd still be up
Still
by
be winning.
50 points if we got.
Come
if we
on,
missed
Scott.
It doesn't matter. We're going to lose
my
anyway.
brain, I'm done. I can't
Yeah.
think any more of this.
Yeah, I think I'm
All
done
right.
too.
Okay, well, we'll get the question for fun then. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Both teams throw in the towel, or both teams not get to the fourth question. But we'll have this one for fun for 2 minutes. They're not stars. They're not diamonds. What are the shapes called that appear in the Pittsburgh Steelers helmet logo?
Oh, we can all talk this out.
Yeah, talk it out. You
Yeah.
got 2 minutes.
I feel like I've heard this somewhere, but I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
Rhombus.
That's the thing.
Is that a rhombus?
They're not.
Are they-
as a
so
as
they're
a math
not-
teacher, they're
are
not
they-
rhombi.
I mean, they're not pyramids, obviously, because they're not three-sided. So, but are they like
Do you think it's a math term?
diamonds?
It's got to be a shape, right? What kind of
But
shape?
it's like the weird curve. They're
But
curved.
but does it have to be this? Is the name of it the shape of it?
It might be.
Yeah, it has a specific name.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, then I'm out. I don't know.
But like it's so geometry terms, it's a square with like four quarter circles.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't.
Right. Not
I don't
straight.
know. I don't-
They're not straight lines, right?
Yeah, they're curved. But I don't know. I can find the area of it. I don't know what it's called. Like that's the math part of it. I don't know what they're actually called. So
Are we good?
Glad
They
we threw
are-
in the towel.
Yeah.
yeah, we wouldn't have been able to come up with a name.
They are hypocloids.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That
You
sounds
can't
like a
even
math
get
term.
to that.
That I have not.
That does sound like
That's one, if you know it, you know it. Hence, number 4.
Well, right. You can't even
Yeah.
get to there because it's a four-sided figure. You know what I mean? You can't even use quad. You know what
It's
I mean?
not even
Like, you
really
can't even-
four-sided. It's just a bunch of curves. So it's not even like it doesn't have sides. Yeah, so I wouldn't be at.
So I want to reiterate, Takimoto edited this game, so
Yeah.
any
you're
beef,
good.
you take it up with him.
I mean,
No,
that's a Jeopardy question if I've
that's
ever heard
valid.
one. So
That's
I mean,
valid.
the
That's
whole-
a fourth. That's the fourth question of a let it
Yeah.
ride. I mean, what? I mean,
Okay.
of course, that's good.
But I mean,
Tim
like,
took the
the
words out of my mouth.
he even saw the Nike one. He let it go. He didn't send any feedback for that one. The second question was going to be a hockey question about CCM. So glad he pulled that one out.
Creedence Clearwater Memorial. What is?
That's what I was wondering. I was gonna say, it was like, what up with Creedence Clearwater?
He said hypocloid. I'm going to use hypocloid in a future pre and
Go
post
for
game.
it.
Hypocloid McClendon.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
All right.
All right. So
That-
after
that,
the
you know,
third
go ahead.
quarter, we have a lead change. So two dads and one dirty diaper has 325, losing what did you guys lose 50 points on that third question there, and Shingle and Ready to Mingle are at 400. Heading into the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
All right. Fourth quarter. So you may have noticed throughout the whole game, the first one, or not the first one, the missing link could have had Sandy Koufax in it. But there was no baseball except for the stupid, MLB question, uniforms question. Fourth quarter is all baseball.
Mm-mm.
So category 1 is high school. Category 2 is college. Category 3 is international. And category 4 is major leagues. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, let's get to the questions. On to question 1. In the category of high school, which legendary slugger is the most recent Hall of Famer to make the jump directly from high school to Major League Baseball? Hailing from Idaho, he played all but 1 year of his Major League Baseball career with one Midwestern ball club, joining the 2,000 hit club and the 500 home run club, as well as collecting one MVP award.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, go for it. Then let's go ahead and do it.
All right, we're going to check in.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle has checked in. 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper. Talk it out.
I think I'd be shocked if they were not having the same conversation we were.
I feel like, yeah, because I feel like we
I think
were.
it's. I really do think it. I think it's Harmon Killebrew, but I think it was a long. It seems like a long time ago. And the other thing is I can't think. I can't think of. It's hard for me to believe that he only had one MVP. But in the time that he played,
there were a lot of great players that would have blocked him out. So, but he has 2,000 hits, has 500 home runs. He played all but 1 year. I don't know where he played his last year, but he played somewhere randomly.
1 minute.
But he fits that. I mean, I guess there isn't anybody more recently to go from high school to Major League Baseball. I mean, it's a long time ago, but I guess there might just be not a thing that happens anymore.
What, like, this is gonna sound ridiculous. I might be ignorant, but I would have thought Griffey went from? Did Griffey play in the minors?
Probably.
He had to have. The reason I say that is because that would give us a time frame. Is my thought. Yeah. That's my only reason I bring him up is because I don't remember him being in the minors at all in the late '80s or what have you.
He may have just been like a cup of coffee, like a few games, and they're like, "All right, you're good enough."
And then how often does a high school kid go straight from?
It doesn't happen.
It's got to be an older guy then, right?
Yeah. I guess just thinking about.
There's our timer.
All right, we'll check in with Harmon Killebrew for 25.
Right, and Matt and Scott, what do you guys have?
Yeah, we were trying to think of who would have done this too, and I said to Matt, I don't think this is necessarily as recent as we think, because to bypass the minors completely is unfounded these days. So we also went back, thought of someone who might be from Idaho, and this guy seemed like he would be born in Idaho. We knew he fit the criteria, and he played almost all of his career for the Twins. So we also checked in with Harmon Killebrew for 100 points.
And I will say, if it's Harmon Killebrew, he did play his last season with the Royals, but he actually came up to the majors with the Senators, and that was not in the Midwest. So your question might be flawed a little bit if it was Harmon Killebrew.
I'm not going to take that, hate, because both teams are getting points. It is Harmon Killebrew. 1 year before him, Al Kaline, also a Hall of Famer, went straight from high school to the majors. And a few years after, Dave Winfield went straight to the majors, but he played at University of Minnesota.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't go straight to the majors, but I guess, college.
College to the majors. He went college to the majors.
Yep.
And he was playing basketball, right?
He's playing basketball, and he got drafted to play hockey. No, just kidding.
Oh, hockey, that's right.
No, I'm just kidding. He got drafted by the Vikings, the Padres, and then an NBA and a WNBA.
WNBA.
AVA team. AVA.
Write that down.
WNBA legend.
Yeah, WNBA legend. Dave Winfield.
But no, Harmon Killebrew is the correct answer. To answer you, Tim, Ken Griffey played 2 seasons in the minors. His draft year, and then the following year he played in AA and AAA, and then started fresh in 1989 in the majors.
Plus,
I guess that's why I don't.
Plus, Seattle's not in the Midwest, so.
Well, I got that right, but I was trying to give.
He's trying to get time frame. Time frame, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Matt, what's our score update?
We are at what is it? 2 dads, 1 dirty diaper at 350, and Shingle and Ready to Mingle at 500.
All right. Question number 2 of the fourth quarter. In 2004, this Long Beach State dirtbag was the 12th overall selection in the MLB draft by a team in his home state, but his agent Scott Boras thought he was worth number 1 money. This led to the longest MLB draft holdout in history, with the starting pitcher signing his contract just minutes before the deadline to sign him. Name this player.
Yeah, we'll check it.
Yeah.
All right. Shingle and Ready to Mingle. You can talk it out.
2004 draft, 12th
2012.
overall. The Giants were good in 03. They made the playoffs, so I don't know that they would have the 12th pick. So I wonder if this is a Padre.
The only reason I kept on saying the Giants is because he referred to him as a, what do you say, noted
dirtbag
or something like that. So I don't know how
no,
passionate he
that's the
is
name
about
of the
his
team.
Giants. So I have
Name
nothing
answer.
on this. So yeah, go ahead.
Jesus, I don't even know. CC Sabathia. That's obviously not right for 100 points.
All right. Tim and Mason, what did you guys come up with?
Well, we really didn't know. And then we talked about it a little bit. And I think this might be one of the Weaver brothers. So we went with, we're going to check in with the last name of Weaver.
Yeah, I saw him pitch in 2004. This is Jared Weaver for the Angels, which was not mentioned among the California teams, but
they're so irrelevant.
Right.
How many points did you guys wager on that one?
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
100.
We checked in with Jared Weaver for 100 points.
correct. So, Matt, do we have a score update before
We
I move
do.
to
We
number
actually
3?
have a lead change. So now the Two Dads and One Dirty Diaper has 450 points, and Shingle and Ready to Mingle has 400 points.
On to question 3 in the category of international baseball. In the World Baseball Classic, Team Israel is mostly comprised of American-born Jewish major leaguers. In 2023, which 4-time All-Star and 1-time world champion infielder was selected as the manager of this squad? Hint, he spent most of his career in the AL.
Sure.
Then I don't know who that is.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going to check in.
All right, Shingle and Ready to Mingle have checked in. Mason and Tim, you guys can talk it out for another 2 minutes.
Oh, God, this
All
hurts
right,
so bad.
give me anything because I have nothing on this.
I don't know.
So you're thinking second baseman.
I am, but I might. I don't know. I really don't. I think I'm thinking of the Mexico coach, but I have no clue. But then the whole name of Odalis Perez is coming in my head. I don't know why Odalis Perez is popping in my head right now because he's not
Definitely
infielder.
Jewish.
Yeah, definitely not.
Same Jewish athlete, Odalis Perez.
Yeah, the Mexican Jewish guy, Odalis Perez. I don't know. Rex Hudler is another name that came in my head.
I don't even know who that is.
That sounds like the fake guy you use on MLB The Show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you just create that player?
Joe Random and Rex Hudler.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. What was that name again?
Rex Hudler.
Rex Hudler?
Yeah, he was just your
He's played for the Angels like in the mid-90s and early 2000s.
In the Cardinals, he was just like a prototypical white dude, like just the whitest of white, like.
So that's what we're thinking of, obviously, for this.
Jack to the gills. Yeah.
Basic white guy. Rex.
Jack.
1 minute.
Hundler?
Hudler.
Mm-hmm.
Jack to the gills.
Jack to the gills.
Complete description. I don't. 4-time All-Star. He's good for a while. Just I don't know.
Need an answer.
I don't have enough to go off of. So come up with an infielder that might be Jewish.
Placido
That
Polanco.
should be fun.
All right. I guess that's what we're going with. Okay. That's
That lead was fun for a while. It lasted.
Yeah, for that one question, it was so good.
What was the answer? Sorry, my headphones fell out.
Probably because you were so astonished that we got it right. Placido Polanco.
All right,
for 100 points.
Matt and Scott, what did you guys come up with?
Matt was sending me details that weren't necessarily correct, but I think it got us to the right answer at least. He sent over teams that have won the World Series recently, and he put Detroit in there. So immediately I was like, well, That's not. They haven't won.
I thought Detroit won one.
They
Did
lost to the
win
Cardinals
one?
and the Rangers
and the Giants
in this century. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
and the Giants and the Cardinals. They beat the Rangers in the ALCS. But then he said Tigers third baseman, and I was like, again, it really can't be. I was like, Brandon Inge. But then he sent over a name that I think is actually correct because I know he's a Jewish athlete because David talks about him, and we had a question about him because he went 30 for 30 one season. So we checked in with 100 points with Ian Kinsler.
One team is getting points. Famous Jew Placido Blanco. No, sorry, it was Ian Kinsler managed the 2023 Israeli WBC.
I don't know
team.
who he won his World Series with because I don't know
where the Red Sox
after Detroit. Oh, I had no idea. I don't remember
Red Sox in 2018. He was a utility guy on that team. But no, I wrote that question specifically because I couldn't shoehorn this guy in. He always plays on Team Israel. I played with him at UCSD. His name is Shlomo Lipitz, and he is, I'm not kidding, the most interesting man in the world. Every time they do a WBC, there is a big news profile on him. I think Fox Sports did the most recent one on him. He served in the Israeli army. He came to San Diego to play baseball. He played at UCSD, and now he runs a winery and concert venue in New York. He is legitimately the most interesting man in the world. Look him up if you get a chance. He's great.
Shlomo
Lipitz.
Shlomo Lipitz and Fook, the two most interesting men I've learned about on this podcast.
Yeah. If you get a chance to read about him, do it. As far as I know, everything in those profiles is true. He's legit the most interesting man in the world and a very nice guy to boot. So, Matt, what are our scores?
What did you guys wager on that one?
100.
100. Big swing. You guys over there at Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper have 350 points, and us Shingles and Ready to Mingle have 500.
All right, so it's still in play with the final question of the game. In the category of Major League Baseball, Joe Glenn was a relatively average Major League catcher playing 8 seasons and batting .252 with 5 home runs and 89 RBI. However, he is the only player in MLB history to catch pitching appearances for 2 members of the 500 home run club. Name those players.
We're going to check in.
All right. For the final time, Shingle and Ready to Mingle have checked in. Tim and Mason, talk it out.
No, we don't want to.
Well, I'll talk it out, and then
you don't have to. Yeah,
and you've got about a minute.
No, we're good. I mean, we're to the point where we think it's Babe Ruth and somebody else, right? That's
it's a contemporary of Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth ended his career in the 30s, so this guy could have started in the early 40s. So I have it down to either Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams, or Mel Ott, because those are the only 3 that I can think of that would have had 500 home runs and would have been an 8-year overlap.
Within
8 years.
You got a lot more info than I do. I mean, I obviously the first person I thought of was Ruth. I mean, I don't think Ohtani has. I mean, I don't think he was catching for Ohtani too. You know what I mean? Those are the 2 main guys that hit and can catch, right?
So I guess what this is this position player pitching, what they do now when you're up 10.
It has to be. It has to be that
he
has a fluke turn at pitching, right?
Right. So just Ted Williams is the most notable, but this is a 4th quarter, so do maybe Jimmy Fox because he was a catcher for a little bit.
Yeah, but at the same time, as a coach, the last thing I ever do is if a kid's catching, the last thing I do is put him in as pitcher, right? Because he's the one that's just putting more throws on a kid's arm. You know what I mean?
But and the other thing is for Mel Ott, he's from Louisiana. I know enough about him. I feel like I would remember something like that that weird kind of thing. But so
there's just not enough info here for us to figure it out. I mean, the main info that we get is about Joe Glenn, and essentially is name 2 500 home run club
members that would have pitched.
Ruth
being one of Ruth, definitely. So
right. You just want to say maybe Fanatics, and maybe they'll just give us credit for it.
Babe Ruth and Fanatics. Is that Nike Fanatics? I don't know.
No, that's fine.
Ruth and Williams. I don't know.
Let's just do Ruth, because if it is Williams, we're gonna be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So at this point in time, and again, like at this situation, I get to the point where I'm like, what answer is gonna make me the least angry if it's the right answer? You know? So that's just where I'm at. But look at mine. Here we go. All right, let's do it.
So Ruth and Williams, is that what we're going with?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're gonna go Babe Ruth, Ted Williams for 100.
And for the last time, Shingle and Ready to Mingle. What do you guys have?
Yeah, we had really nothing, no way to latch on anything here. Just like them, we thought, well, Babe Ruth makes sense. So then I asked Matt, like, who's another 500 homer guy that would have been around the same time? He said Jimmy Fox. So we checked in with Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox for 100 points.
One team is getting their points. He did catch for the Yankees, so he did catch Babe Ruth. And on August 24th, 1940, Ted Williams had his one pitching appearance to Joe Glenn. So it is Babe Ruth and Ted Williams is the correct answer. And to be perfectly honest, this is the question that I wrote this whole game around. I was like, you know what? I like this question. It's a good fourth quarter question. And we're going to do all baseball questions in the fourth quarter.
Nice pull, Tim.
All right.
I wish I could say it was me.
Good job pulling a Hall of Famer, one of the best players ever.
In the as the last question of the game. That's the reason we almost didn't go. It's the exact reason.
It's too obvious, but
either way, incredible.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. Good game, guys.
Yeah, that was one of those weird, like, immaculate grid things where, like, my dad, much older than me and followed baseball way before I did, had one of those pitched one, in one game squares. And he's like, Ted Williams pitched in a game and this guy caught him and Babe Ruth. And I was like, I'm stealing that.
So shout out to Byron's dad for that question.
Yeah, definitely.
Who I can only assume is Mackie Grubman, because everybody's dad is Mackie now.
Totally.
That's it. It's just mine.
Famously Jewish name, Mackie.
Mackie Grubman.
Mackie's not even my dad's real name. That's the funny part. It's not. It's a nickname.
Because your dad changed it?
It's a shortened form. His name is actually, he's the only person that I know that has his name. It's actually Maxim. Maxime.
Like the magazine?
Yeah, actually, he actually invented it.
I thought you were going to say
Mason's getting those Maxim royalties.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to say it was Macklemore. I'm like, attaboy. Good work.
I thought he had to change his name because he's Jewish.
Maxim Diop, the creator of Maxim magazine.
Start thinking of other hashtags.
Tim, who knew Eva Longoria has been putting money in Mason's pocket for all these years?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll never put anything in my
notably
pocket.
Still printed Maxim
I'm waiting
magazine.
to see that money. I'm waiting to see that money because I don't have it.
The game has come to an end, and here are the final scores. Shingle and Ready to Mingle finish with 400 points, and our clipboard captains of the game, who are receiving the coveted Yorvit Torrealba Bullpen Catcher Award with 450 points, is Two Dads, One Dirty Diaper.
That's a good award, fellas. He caught in a World Series.
That's incredible. And he's Jewish as well, right?
Obviously, we're sticking with the theme. Torrealba, noted Jewish name.
That's what I thought. When I heard Torrealba, I thought Jewish. Got it. That was awesome.
All right.
Gentlemen, that was a great game. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Byron. That was awesome. A lot of fun.
I had a great time. I like writing games every, once a year or so. I'll come up with, I'll be inspired to write a game. So I appreciate you guys letting me run it on here and putting you guys through this torment. And thank you to the listeners for putting up with this and screaming in your cars at how hard the game is. But yeah, I'm always happy to be on, happy to hang out with you guys. Thanks.
Byron's getting pretty close to hosting more games than I've hosted. So
I was going to say to people out there who listen, please write games. Write games for us. Come on and host them.
Please.
That way we don't have to have Josh and Taco games every other episode. So please write games and come on and host. We really encourage it. It's not as scary as it seems. We'll have people look over it. Like, it's not a big deal. Please do it.
A lot of fun. All right, well, on behalf of assistant coach Byron, assistant coach Tim, Mason, Scott, and myself, thank you very much for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.